Hi everyone, welcome to At Home with Barilla at my home. My name's Ben Milbourne. I live in Devonport, Tasmania, or just outside Devonport, Tasmania, in the central northwest coast, a little town called Sprayton. It's an old apple packing town, lots of orchards out here. We've got orchards either side of our house, cherry, pear, apple orchards. We've got lots of orchards on the property as well. But this is my kitchen. I've got two kitchens. We've got our studio kitchen where we make our television shows just out the back of the house. So we put that in an old abandoned apple packing shed and turned that into our studio kitchen. And this is my kitchen in my home. So if I'm ever cooking for the family, this is where I'm normally doing. I've also got my kitchen in the restaurant. Very different feel depending on where I'm cooking. I was thinking about it just when I was starting to prep for this meal. I was peeling garlic, and it's so different when you're peeling garlic in the restaurant because you've got so many to get through and it's work, and you've got numbers you've got to hit. When if you're peeling garlic at home, it's nice and relaxing and calm. And they're just two variations that you get from two different kitchens. So I'm going to show you a dish that I eat a lot if I've got to do a quick pasta lunch. It can be an evening meal as well. It's a great evening meal during summer because it's a bit lighter, but it's a good lunch dish. Now, Andy Allen, my best mate, who I met in MasterChef, he taught me this. So this was in his book. We tweaked it a little bit, but this is the sort of the base puttanesca dish. So I'm doing penne puttanesca. It's normally done with spaghetti alla puttanesca, but we're going to do it with penne because this is my favourite short pasta. We had spaghetti bolognese the other night. Having the kids with spaghetti and red sauce can be dangerous. So I'm going to make a short pasta so they can have it when they come home. They're out shopping at the moment. So first thing we've got to do, this dish doesn't take very long at all. So as long as it takes to cook this pasta, which it says on here 11 minutes, I'll actually pull it out a little bit before that because I like it really al dente, and I'm going to cook it off in the sauce a little bit. So I'll pull this out about 8 or 9 minutes. So we'll pop our penne in. Before you do that, actually, a good tip, lots and lots and lots of salt. So people, I haven't put any salt in this water. When you talk about lots of salt, it's not just that, it's a couple of really good pinches. It should, I always say it should taste of the ocean, and it should, because this is a dehydrated product. What it's doing when it's cooking is it's taking on water. Now if that water has got salt in it, it takes on seasoned salted water. So you start seasoning your pasta. And this is why in Italy, they'll eat pasta just with some olive oil, lemon juice and chilli, because the pasta itself is the meal. When you've got good pasta, like Barilla is, and I can attest to that, I've been to Italy, I've been to Barilla, I've walked through the factory, I got to cook for all the Barilla employees, I got to meet Guido Barilla. It was a really brilliant, eye-opening experience to see how pasta is their life, 4 generations of doing it, and they do it so well. So when you've got good pasta like this is, if you have seasoned water, you can eat this on its own, and my kids will eat this on its own. So, I've got my salted water, a rolling boil, popping my penne. I want about half the box. Another reason I love Barilla is because it stays in the box and it's easy to store. So give that a stir. That's going to come up to the boil, and then about 8 minutes, and that'll come straight out of there. I'm not going to strain that. I won't strain that pasta. I won't wash it. If you ever want pasta to be loose, if you want to put it through a salad, a cold salad or something like that, then strain it and wash it, because it's the starch that gets on the outside of the pasta when we cook the pasta and makes it sticky. If you're putting that into a sauce, you actually want the emulsifying, thickening factor of the starch on the outside of the pasta. So you don't strain it and you bring some of the pasta water into the pasta sauce. It helps emulsify everything and bring the sauce together. But if you're trying to make a pasta salad for summertime, or a light pasta salad in some way, then rinse off your pasta and it stays nice and loose and moves around. You don't have to put any oil on or anything like that. You're probably going to put a dressing on anyway. So now that's in, I better get going because we've only got 8 minutes. I'm going to roughly chop my garlic up. I've got 3 cloves. I want this to really, the flavour in this to really punch. So we're going, with lots of intense flavours: capers, garlic, anchovies, not anchovies. I was going to put anchovies in this, olives. Set it on my other pan. Turn that down to a medium heat. My garlic can go in. So that was 3 cloves. I want a good amount of olive oil in there. Olive oil is a sauce on its own. Probably about a quarter to a third of a cup of olive oil. Pinch of salt. And always, when you start cooking something in a pan, when you first add whatever it is, if you're making a mirepoix or you're glazing something off or you're cooking down some vegetables, always throw some salt in at the beginning because that helps extract the moisture out of the thing that you're cooking, and that helps intensify the flavour. It's the moisture that's the enemy of flavour. You want to get all that moisture out. Right, so I'm just going to wait for this garlic to heat up. I don't want to brown it, I want to keep it, I want no colour on it, but I want to be able to smell it. I want it to be cooked through enough that when you bite into a piece of garlic it isn't astringent, doesn't burn. It's nice and it's a subtle flavour, but I don't want to get any colour on there. I don't want that burnt garlic flavour through the dish. If you wanted to, you could also have chilli, either fresh chilli or chilli flakes through the pasta sauce. My kids are going to eat it and they're okay with spices, but they're not quite there yet. Alright, so capers. Well, I've got about a tablespoon and a half of baby capers, which I'll roughly chop. The reason why I decided to cook this dish is because at the moment, with everyone at home during quarantine and COVID, pasta started selling massively through the roof, which I think is great because it means that people are cooking at home, and if they're cooking pasta dishes then they're being a little bit creative. They're cooking family friendly dishes, so pasta's a great dish which everyone can sit around and eat and talk. And pastas, my kids, cooking pasta is their favourite thing to cook. Pasta and pizza, my kids love. So the reason I decided to make this is because a lot of the stuff that goes into this, well, pretty much all the stuff that goes into this comes out of a tin or a can or a jar, so it can sit in your pantry for a long time, and when you want to make this dish you can grab it. So the capers go into a jar, our olives will be in a jar, your tuna, that's just tin tuna, would be in a jar, tomatoes, or the passata would be in a jar or a tin. So all of this you can have just sitting there for weeks and weeks and weeks until you get the perfect time to make this pasta, which is really, you could make this pasta once a week and you wouldn't get sick of it. Oh, I'll colour on that garlic. Just want to taste this, make sure I haven't burnt it. Ooh. Lucky. Alright, capers and olives. In. My tuna in. Now nothing here needs to be cooked. It's all, like I said, come out of a jar or a tin. We're just warming it through. Tomatoes. So we've now got the tomato sauce, the olive oil, the juices that have come out of the tuna, which was it was tuna and olive oil, and that'll all separate out. So you'll see the oil will separate away from the tomatoes. We don't want that to happen. We want all that to come together and create a nice emulsified sauce. So that's what our pasta water is going to help us do. Lemon juice. And this dish really does rely on all those strong flavours of those tinned and jarred things, like the capers and the olives and the tuna. To get a lot of flavour into a dish, it only takes 10 minutes to cook. And that's why when you eat it, you think, this dish is really flavourful, it's got heaps of flavour in it, but I only cooked it for such a short period of time. Normally you have to cook for a lot longer than that to get that sort of flavour. That comes from all those really intense, salty, umami flavours that come out of the stuff that we normally put in tins, whether they're brined or salted or pickled. So all those really intense flavours that we use to cure things and keep them for a bit longer, we're taking advantage of that in this dish to get that flavour. We've got parsley stalks, which I'm going to chop just a few of the stalks off, because these can handle a little bit of heat and they've got a different flavour to the leaves. Pop some of the stalks in our sauce. I'll use the parsley leaves at the end because they're a little bit more delicate. We don't want to cook them too much. Chance to clean down. A little pepper. I just want to check my sauce to see whether it's seasoned well enough. I know my pasta's going to be seasoned really well. The salt that I've got in that water. Salt. And it's a little bit watery because of those tin tomatoes. So I just want to reduce that down a little bit now. And that's what I was saying, that pasta water will come in handy because the oil that we've got in there from the olive oil, which has taken all the flavour, because the oil is the thing that carries the flavour. We want that to mix with the water, otherwise it just tastes a bit watery. So while we're simmering this away, we're getting water and moisture out of the dish, so it's intensifying the flavour again. I'm going to check my pasta. Perfect. You can see I didn't take any of that, I didn't drain any of that pasta, took it straight from our pot into our sauce. I just want that last little bit of cooking just to finish off till al dente to happen in my sauce. So it's got about a minute now just to finish off. While that bubbles away, the starch will start to emulsify the oil and the water together. And we'll end up with a perfectly cooked pasta and perfectly emulsified sauce. Just give that a minute. Oh, this pasta's awesome. It's a real, next time, promise me next time you make pasta, you will season the water a lot and you'll try the pasta on its own. It's a great snack just on its own if the pasta's well seasoned. It's salty, it's got that beautiful wheaty flavour like bread. It's awesome. Okay, some fresh parsley. Turn that heat off. Which bowl should I use? What do you think, Alex?
Blue one.
Blue one. My 3 favourite bowls. The staff in the kitchen in the restaurant hate this plate because it's so hard to wash up. You can't really put it through the dishwasher. You've got to wash it by hand because it's handmade. They really, really hate it. But it's such a beautiful plate. Right, so you see how that sauce has come together now? So there's no pools of water. It's coating the pasta nicely. It's a good amount for Australian pasta. It's a good amount of pasta to sauce. A little bit less sauce and more pasta. We'd probably go for it in Italy. From what I learnt in my time there. Fresh parsley on top of that. Olive oil, because like I said, olive oil is a sauce or a seasoning all of its own. There you go, Alex. You see that okay there?
Yep.
And that's my puttanesca, a dish that I love to eat. Really enjoy making because it's so simple to make. You enjoy your time in the kitchen. Everything happens nice and quick. The tips I'll give you for this is seasoning that pasta water, making sure it's really, really, really salty. And then try the pasta on its own before you add it to the sauce, and you'll get that idea of how the pasta itself, if it's good pasta and it's seasoned water, can be the meal all on its own. And bringing pasta water into the sauce with you. So don't strain your pasta off. Just turn it off, get a ladle or a slotted spoon and take the pasta in, because you'll drag some of that pasta water with it, and you'll drag all the starch that's on the outside of the pasta will go into the sauce as well. So you see how that sauce is holding perfectly? There's no pools of water in there, which you sometimes get with pastas. The oil and the water and the lemon juices all come together perfectly. That's what you want from a well emulsified sauce. It's not about reducing it down, it's about getting starch in there to do that thickening and that emulsifying for you. So that's a great, today is not the best day. That's kind of a warming meal. I'd sit down, we are going to sit down when the kids get home, we're going to have that with, if we needed more carbohydrates, I'd keep going by a piece of crusty bread. So we'll carve that up, lots of butter on the bread, and rip into the pasta. I need to go for a run tomorrow to work off all the carbs. But that's a great dish for any time of the year. It's a good lunch dish, but in summer it's a good evening meal as well. Have you got any questions, Alex, that have come through?
None so far.
We answered all of them. That was always a good indicator when I was a teacher. Normally it went either I'm doing a good job or the kids just don't care what I'm saying. One or the other. I hope you've had fun at home with Barilla. I know there are lots of people who are home at the moment. Please make the most of it. Never in our lifetime ever again will we get this opportunity to spend this much time with family. So take advantage of that. I've seen more of my kids and my wife over the last 2 months than I have in probably 8 years. So find the silver lining, look after yourselves and each other, and we'll see you soon. Thanks everyone.